Hey guys, what's up? So, just came back from Vegas. Had a really good time and watched the LCS games. And I was pretty frustrated with how the games are going. I felt like it was kind of sloppy. And one person I pointed out a lot was TSM. And a lot of people were like, Xpecial, like he carried that last team fight. He's obviously good. You suck. And I was like, I don't think so. I think you're wrong. And here's why. I'm gonna watch this game, go over a lot of stuff about the game. No, not just point out any one specific person, but just overall go over what happened in this game and who messed up and who played well, whatever. So just want to show you guys um, this game, kind of analyze it a bit. Uh, should be pretty fun. So let's get started. First thing to talk about, picks and bans. Um, not much to talk about, I guess. Like pretty standard picks. The draft didn't change much in between games. Only big difference is that Afro was on Alistar instead of Bard or Soraka. And sorry, gotta get rid of that. Okay, Bard or Soraka. Got Lulu on CLG this time. TSM won 2 games with Lulu. Caitlyn on TSM and Tristana pick coming out. Jungle matchups pretty even. Kindred has advantage early game. Top lane pretty even. Bot lane pretty even. Honestly, probably favors CLG on this side just because they outscale, and Caitlyn can't really pressure with Braum in this matchup. So pretty overall, it's a fairly solid draft. I think CLG has the edge in this draft, but it doesn't matter too much. It's not that big of a difference. So okay, let's go. Start the game. Okay, level one, pretty standard. Typically, nobody ever does anything level one. It's 5-man point, very standard. Nothing really happens. So both teams looks like they do a blind swap. Um, I don't think it really matters if they 2-1 or not. I think it probably favors CLG because they have stronger. I think Afro moves a lot better than Yellowstar in lane, and support's really the fine bot lane still with these champions. If they have like a Lucian or something that can have a lot of poke and all-in potential, then it favors a AD carry. But in this case, it kind of favors the support. Whoever has better support, lane's better, will probably win that matchup. Usually only by a little bit of CS. Very rare to kill in a 2v2 lane with double tanks, especially with exhaust. So nothing. Looks like both sides just probably saw each other. I kind of missed what happened there. Okay, yeah, they tried to invade. Very standard invade to see if they're doing 2v1. They realize they're not, and there's gonna be 2v2. Double checks it. It's very smart in case they're hiding there. That could have been a really good play from COG if they had went there earlier. But expect for that, and that was a smart play. Very subtle, not a huge difference. Nothing really happens. Whoever pushes up the lane first does have advantage. So ideally, Tristana Alistar should have to push because they got into lane early, and Alistar is really strong level one in terms of being able to push because he can Q the person and the minions, whereas Braum kind of only has an auto attack and the Q, which is strong for fighting, but not for pushing the wave. So because it tells you on lane first, they're gonna push. It's very natural. Good for them. And here, very even. Caitlin's trying to get Pokken, doesn't really work. If your Chisana can perma push in the Caitlyn lane, it's actually extremely good, and Chisana will naturally win in CS. But if Chisana's pushed in by the Caitlyn, then it's the opposite, where Chisana will miss CS, and Caitlyn will have the advantage. So pushing is really, really important in this 2v2 matchup. Okay, let's keep going. So obviously TSM wants to have that advantage, so they're gonna try to pressure. But as you're gonna see in a little bit, Braum gets caught, and not. Okay, wait. Oh, first what didn't happen. Okay, so just keep on away. All these my arrow keys. Okay, all right. Let's go back real quick. See what happens. Level two. Alistar actually normally would take E here because basically your combo on Alistar, you're using about 65 mana for about 50 point of damage onto a target when you use your WQ combo. And unless you have killing potential, which is impossible in this lane, you're not gonna kill him level 2 as Alistar in a 2v2 lane. You don't there's no point actually getting W. You just actually get E, tank some damage, and you actually heal 90 points of HP per. Well, actually nerfed it, so it's like what is it? 80. So you heal 20 to an ally and 60 to yourself, and you're only using I think it's 60 mana for it. So not only does it cost a little less mana, you actually get more effective HP, and you also push up the main. So it's actually better to get E level 2 on Alistar, but obviously they will go for this really good play. Um, Yellowstar wanted to go for the Targon sec, I believe. I didn't actually notice what happened there, but pretty much he gets baited in. Very smart play from Afro. This is the type of play that will catch people off guard, and this is a sign of a really good support player where they know that, and he definitely called it. Yep, Afro was like, they're pushing up, we have kill pressure, and yeah, Yellowstar also fucks up because he doesn't take W here, which is a I don't know why. He wanted E, which is better for 2v2 laning, but you're not actually pressuring them, so you don't actually need the E here. So you should save the point, and in case something like this happens, you would flash W to your ally, be safe, trade flashes, it's fine, you know where the jungler is, and sorry, and that would be perfect. Alistar without flash has no kill pressure on any lane, so yeah. Big mistake by Yellowstar. A little bit just didn't expect that, but pretty much if you're playing against Afro, you're playing against this lane. I mean, they've been pressuring bottom a lot in the series. There's really no reason for him to even take the E there. Just gotta think about it and just play a little smarter. Really sucks for him. First one gives us just teacher Hana, and I mean, it sucks, but it's not the end of the world. This lane is just now, instead of it being even, it's slightly in CLG's favor. CLG's gonna push up. Because Kalen was the one that died, it's not too detrimental to the team. Just sucks a little bit, and you know it happens. All right, let's keep going. The replay. Okay, so this part, the replay. Sorry for that. So obviously because Elise was topside, you want to walk in, get some of the other team's camps. Very obvious play, and who he looks like he had the pressure in the lane, or it looks like he had the pressure in the lane. It was very even, I think. So Bjergsen's late to the fight slightly compared to Huhi, and Alistar's roaming down here too. So pretty much they're like, all right, gotta get the hell out of here. And Darshan roams up too. So basically, this is just a play that kind of started off from the top lane gank, but pretty much transitioned into Sven being too greedy, going for the enemy camp, and just not respecting the mid lane pressure and not expecting the Alistar to roam down. Actually, Alistar doesn't do anything here, but it's just like COG plays really smart. They actually ward it over to the Rave over here, sees that Sven is doing the Raves, and collapse on him. Very smart play from CLG. This is the kind of play that I want to see from teams um, over the world because just Korea is the master at this. They see advantages, they see mistakes, and they capitalize really well on it. So yeah, Sven just that was honestly just unlucky. He had the right idea, just got a little too greedy, and they didn't expect the four-man play like that, and kind of have to sometimes. So 2-0 for CLG. I don't know why this thing's covering. I can't see the gold count, but it looks like it's only 700 ahead. It's 700 gold. Not that big of a deal, but it does suck. And it's not the end of the world. So here is a pretty big mistake. Let me see what happens here. So this is pretty subtle. Most people won't notice this, but Sven actually TP's in the lane here. Or sorry, Hansu TP's in the lane here. Um, The wave is pushing, so it's actually not a bad TP. But what ends up happening is that now Darshan has TP advantage. They have two TPs up on CLG, and TSM has zero. So okay. So what is Hansu gonna do here? He has to push it in. The fact that he TP in, he has an extra item. He's just gonna have to TP in, or he's gonna push it in. So he's not doing that. He's kind of scared, right? He doesn't know where Elise is. But he has a pink ward behind him. Very hard to gank a Gragas that has flash, and Echo has no flash right now. He probably doesn't know Echo doesn't have flash. It's kind of hard to see that one. So Hansu just doesn't actually do anything here. He doesn't pressure in the Echo. It's kind of hard in a tank matchup, I guess. But now you see this fucks their bot lane, TSM's bot lane super hard because not only do they not have the top lane TP, the mid lane doesn't have TP, so they can double TP to dive their asses right here. This is such an easy dive. You also have Sven on the bot side. It kind of has to be. You really can't afford to have Sven top because you're not gonna win that fight if a 5v3 that breaks out. So TSM has to back off the cert. Honestly, the best play would have been to have them swap early. The TSM should just swap early after Hansu did that bad TP. They have to swap. There's honestly no way to defend the cert. Turret's gone. So I actually don't think Hansu should use his TP. But since he did, you kind of have to just back off. You get against OTP and your TP is down, you don't have one TP, you just can't do anything here. So very good play from CLG, recognizing that. Darshan obviously had to call that. Just good play. Whoever's the shot caller is like, dive top. We have 5v3 pressure. Darshan obviously backs off knowing that Kendrick will be down there, but they can't take turret, so they're Gucci. So CLG gets a free turret, honestly. That in itself is probably a game. But what happens after is even worse. So TSM realized that they can't defend the turret. Alright, let's reset, just go back top afterwards. And COG goes for the smart play. They're like, hey, like these guys, they're push up past our ward. Wait for them to push up again and just gank their asses. We still have double TPs available and just, they're playing dumb. This is exactly what they're saying. So, alright, it's TSM. Why are they pushing up like this? I do not know. They still don't have TP on Hunt, so CLG still has both TPs up, so they just can't be up here. Straight up. They have a ward behind them. They have several wards in their jungle, actually. There's no way for them to survive this. And they just get ganked and killed. And, like, what? What? After move misses his flash kill, doesn't matter. But what? Darshan should not be taking any of those kills, but what are they doing? 6A, let 6A get the kills, please. Alright, 6-6 should be 3-0 right now, and the game should be over. But instead, Darshan takes both those kills and actually doesn't pressure that bot lane. It's actually really bad because this 4-0 score should be a snowballed win. 25 minutes, game's over. That should be what's happening here. Caitlyn is already shut down. The bot lane is pretty much out of the game. Should be game. But what actually happens is that this game stalls out for a really long time. But yeah, that was a really bad play from TSM. They just had to not go top. They had to just, swap lanes earlier or swap lanes then. But Jesus Christ, that Hanzo TV just really fucked them. Um, that's how you just can't play double TPs like that. If you have double TPs, if you don't have double TPs against a double TP team, you just gotta play a lot more conservative with your TP. You can't use it for your lane. Even if it hurts your lane a little bit, that is okay because you're gonna win team fights because you have extra summoner on your mid laner later on to the game. So anyways, keep watching. Let's keep going here. Nothing really happens. Like this is kind of why I was a little sad because you have Tristana with 10-minute Quincy's and boots, and Caitlyn with nothing. So that pretty much means that you're gonna be able to shut him pretty easily. But on the other hand, Gragas actually has TP over TSM or fuck over CLG. Dude, I'm so confused. So Gragas has TP over CLG, so they have to be careful. They can't actually play two aggro bot side. So looks like Kendra's playing on bot side right now. Okay, let's keep going. Nothing's really happening. Let's just put this on 2x speed for a little bit. I'll put 5x fan too. So this dragon should not be given away at all. TP's up in like 20 seconds or so, and that should be called. And COG should be constantly pushing up bottom, getting ready to get deep wards, roam mid. This dragon should be COG's 100%. The fact that TSM got it is very bad, and I don't know why they got it, to be honest. This game should be, like I said, heavily snowballed at this point. You have such a big lead, your TPs are coming up, you just go for bot turret, you dive that shit. Okay, so good. They're going for this turret. They get this turret for free. Good. No reason why they couldn't have gotten it a minute or two earlier and also gotten Dragon for that. But yeah, that's what they should have done. Good. What can I say? Bot lane should probably go mid here. Lulu goes bot. Something like that. Let's see what happens. They go back bottom. That's fine. Get wards out. Probably better go top. He wanted to not go mid here. Generally, Lulu has CP, Corki has no TP. Just send Lulu to side lane. Bot lane goes mid, start pressuring that trade, get deep wards in the jungle. Instead, they don't do that. The Herald's also up. Probably should have just gone top side. There's no dragon, so it's okay. That's a very minor thing. Just it's fine. So Tristana just is really scared, right? She has no words. I don't know why Alistar and Elise aren't playing bot side. And if they aren't playing bot side, Tristana should be top side. So pretty bad micro play. from a macro play from CLG, just wasting time. Tristana is alone for no reason, and she is the fed one. Her and I mean, Echo should be more ahead here because he isn't. You might as well have Tristana be your split pusher and your pressure lane. But instead, they just kind of have Tristana push up the lane, and it says TSM's bot lane goes mid. Now Tristana's probably going mid, which should have been done earlier. Uh, Echo gets Shanklin, not a big deal. Alright, so Luke goes bot, has TP. Nothing really happens, so they're stacking 4 mid right now with TSM. Yeah, so like I said, Echo's actually not pressuring at all. He has, 6 stacks on his little ring thing. What is it even called? I don't know. It's just ring thing, and he has should be super far ahead. Should be able to pressure, but I guess his matchup isn't as good as I thought. And Darshan isn't no pressure, which is fine. You still have your son who's really fed, and that's good too. So yeah, COG looks to pressure mid. Good. Only issue right now is that they're not getting wards out. They should be getting wards out. That's kind of a issue. They don't have enough deep wards to really rotate between top and mid, which they should be doing because they could rotate between mid and bot, but because Corki has no TP, it's better to go top, knowing that you can get a 5v4 advantage by going top side. So yes, at least farm your jungle real quick. Go rotate into the jungle top side, get out wards. That's your next goal. Go for top turret and mid turret. Very hard to siege against this TSM team comp. Corki Caitlyn is a very strong wave clear, but Corki's obviously not mid. But still, Caitlyn herself is still really strong at this point. Traps plus Q, very good wave clear. So they get a little bit of damage on that turret, but again, they need to go back forwards. They need to. They're wasting too much time right now. They're not snowballing their lead hard enough, and we'll see how this game actually gets pretty damn close. Despite this huge advantage by CLG, this honestly should have been, like I said, a 25-minute snowball game.
It's up to which ones they're willing to take, which choices the gold keeps stacked. Still, the flash comes in. The knockup's going to land.
Okay, let's see what happens here. So we still don't have that many wards. We have, some wards bot side, but honestly, the ward should be top side. I guess I prefer for Dragon, which is fine. So they should probably send. No, this is fine. This lane setup is fine. They're just gonna wait for the 5v5. And honestly, this actually favors TSM. Inherently just because they have an extra summoner, but because CLG is super far ahead, doesn't really matter. And team comp wise, Tristana has a huge power spike while Caitlyn is still really really weak. It doesn't have any single item yet. And Yosar gets a pretty good gank to look for. Catches the Lulu. Lulu does die. Good. Really good. Darshan TP's in late. Honestly, you shouldn't even go for this TP. Just keep pushing top. Be like, hey, like, I got caught. It's okay. Give Dragon. Keep pushing lanes. He's fine. Maybe even get mid tier off that. Probably not, but something like that. So COG comes in for the fight. This is really scrappy and not the way you're supposed to play before a lead. So 2 dies. Really, really good for TSM. So yeah. Yep, that was exactly the type of play that COG should not be doing. So yep, COG just pretty much should have not done that. They went from being ahead to basically even. They do get Dragon here though, looks like COG, because TSM overstayed a little bit. They knew Lulu's had TP, but I mean that was the right play to go for, to try to go back to the chunk and force the TP out. So now they have TP. No, no, no. So both TPs are down, and they start killing back man. That's fine. So yeah.
I love how he flashed forward to get the ultimate and allowed Bjergsen to finish off the kill. Yeah, I'm actually curious why he went over towards that.
So yeah, I don't like Darshan to be in there. He should just
here's the answer teleports.
Not
here CLG was here a lot before TSM was, so that's why Darshan is feeling so confident, but Bjergsen's able to dodge a lot of damage and the rest of it would just be right onto TSM's tanks. Yeah, Darshan also ults out of the shield, doesn't quite get the stun, and still gets knocked back in.
Okay, so only 1k advantage for CLG at this point, so you gotta be a little bit worried because before elite, you gotta snowball that shit. But again, this is the finals. They're probably a bit nervous. I don't really blame them. That happens.
The package as well as the big potential of the Gragas is
Hmm.
kind of what TSM
So
wants.
it's
If they
very
see
hard to
something
siege
in
for the
1v1,
team comp. How should it set the lanes? It should be uh 1-3-1 is not really doable because they have shown they can't really pressure. They should probably just 1-4, keep let's see, probably Lulu with the team and get some wards up in their jungle and rotate to Echo. Something like that. Let's see what they do. I'm
yeah,
not
that was the
sure.
team fight, but it was a team fight without the Lulu, who he was dead on arrival. We'll see if it looks better next time. 29 stacks on Spencer and Devourer now. He just got
So
3
Lulu
stars.
runs down, knowing that she can't actually split push that well. And yeah, she roams down.
Next
Lulu's
game
a
he
great
finds gives him that
champion to
seed.
group with. Chuck
Yeah,
Yellow Star
Yellowstar
here a
does
little
not have
bit.
flash.
It's
Gets Wind Cleaver,
good.
takes on a
Gotta
Huhi.
get out of
Loki
there.
popped in, dodged away.
Oof.
With the damage to the sticks,
Alright,
doesn't get
Huhi
pulled
would have
back
died
from
there,
him.
but got
Yeah,
caught
forced one.
again.
Shouting
So,
spells lost 3 damage, still taking it from Spencer. Huhi looking for the play, and Pearson
just
dodging the
getting
Glitter Lance though. And Elise
caught him,
yelling away.
chunked, and
As Rift Herald actually re-engaging on Hunter on this side, but it's tank on.
okay. So there, they tried to set up a pick kind of, tried to do some poke damage, some chip damage, but ended up extending, gets chunked,
CLG
and
got
looks like
heavily poked
they
out. Hunter doesn't pull the
they
trigger on these first
should
caps, but CLG lost that fight.
lose their
Looks like we
tower.
have several members here. You can feel
Let's
they're
see what
losing a
happens.
little bit of the confidence. Everybody's starting to get a little jittery here
Maybe
after
not.
that last team fight.
Looks like they just reset.
TSM know what those two
It's
feels
pretty
like.
hard to
Feels
push
much
against their
better.
team, to
That
be
quick
fair.
shutdown goal to
Since
kill
they're
that first
not
and
actually
foremost.
ahead
Makes
on
sure
TSM
Darshan
side, the small
lost
HP
away.
advantage is not enough for
Walking out
them
of this
to
one, but now
actually
the turret is
pressure the
under
turret.
fire. CLG staying around.
Kaylin looks like
The
she's
stun comes
resetting.
out and
Okay,
it
they
will
give up
force TSM
turret
back,
here.
and finally another turret comes through.
That
CLG
is
up
not
3
good.
turrets
So
to
since
0.
TSM actually got the chunk on COG, but COG got the mid turret on them. So bit of a misplay. What probably should happen is TSM should have been like, we can't push, and immediately go clear the lanes, and immediately come back. Instead, they took too long. I think they tried to push, and then they're a bit slow. Let's see if that's actually what happened. Not exactly sure,
Feel they're losing
because this is a hard call
fast,
to
but CLG
make.
lost that fight. They got
You just chunked them. You're thinking, okay, we're all full HP. Two of them are like really low, so we can probably pressure this turret.
recall
It's a
several members
good
here. You
call
can
to go
feel they're
for. But the
losing
issue
a
is
little bit
that
of the confidence. Everybody's starting to get a little jittery
they
here. Yeah, after
too
that
many people
last team fight.
reset. Looks like. I don't
TSM
even
getting those
know.
2 kills picked up. They're going to feel much better. That included shutdown goal for killing out the formerly
Hmm.
3-0 Darshan.
Okay, so I think Double should have stayed. He should have
Lost
stayed to
away.
help clear the wave,
Walking out of this one, but now the turret is
and
under fire.
instead they
CLG
just
staying
give
around.
away the
The
free
deep
turret.
stun comes out and it will force TSM back and
Ugh,
finally get the
it's
turret.
very hard. Maybe it's fine to give away the turret. I mean, at this point, you might as well since you can't defend it, because people are too far away. But I think okay, so Corki should have stayed mid, get the turret, have Kaylin clear the side wave. That way they don't actually lose mid turret because Kaylin had no mana. That's probably what they should have done. It's a hard call to make, like I said. So really,
Trying to find
you can't really
TSM
blame
as
someone
they're
for that
protecting their
because
own jungle. Svenskern's been
that
constantly
just
picking up
comes
kills,
from
just back and forth.
playing this
CLG
very,
are in the position to get those deep
very
rewards and cut them off.
minute, very like uncommon
That
situation
quick
over and
save
over,
as
and then
well
you
for bringing
realize,
this in. So
or if
run a
you
little bit
you're
more there.
examining a game and
The triple
you
marks during
see
the
what
fight is very
happened in the
respectful, but
future, you'd
yes,
be like,
the
oh, okay, if I see the
understandable yes for
situation,
sure.
I can
So
react
CLG would need to
appropriately. So keep going.
stack and get
What
the
else we
plate
got
and make these
here?
Mario push.
So
At the moment,
CLG is
rise
actually
to
still pretty far ahead. That
and
mid
that turret
turret
repair will
was
convert
really
into follow
good
all
pickup
our
for
good
them
tools
because
to
they're
kill
having a
right
really
and
hard time
facilitate
sieging.
that.
And honestly, you should never be able to take
Instead,
turret
choosing to
against a Corki
participate and
Caitlyn
push shot more.
combo.
TSM
That's
have been the team that's been
such an
better
annoying
right
lane
now.
to lane against.
Now Morty is now down
Mid,
forced
I
elsewhere.
mean,
Quickly see the
they just
Devourer.
instantly wave
Sunfire
clear the
KD.
wave, and they have traps,
Now
and then you
starting to
walk on
come
the
out from
traps, you
Hunter.
just get
The
poked,
Hurricane
and
Ghost Infinity Edge,
yeah,
their uplift as well.
good stuff.
Yeah, actually, on every single DPS.
Let's keep going. This game, like I said, solid out. What's go count out at 2K ahead. Not very big, honestly.
But this is slow like right now on both and 3 turret. He gets powers. 2 marksmen. Definitely get. Yeah. Yeah, he's actually trying to chase. Actually. Yeah, this is not just very
So far, there hasn't really been anything like
everyone's
awful. Everything has been fairly pretty minor. You got some macro misplays from both teams. You got some kind of bad TPs, but that's like none of these are hugely game winning except for that one 0-2 top thing with the turret. Like, and that was kind of down to Hansu. I don't know if the team was okay at that, but like that was just not good. Not something you should ever do. So okay, they're getting ready for this dragon. They know dragon's up. Looks like COG set up for it first. Good on them. Let's see. Okay, let's start with 30 seconds before this dragon. Let's see what's the setup exactly. So, 30 seconds before dragon. They're like, okay, let's go for this dragon. Let's get some vision control, says CLG. Only Elise was there, so he only gets that one ward and backs off. Afro is getting ready to get some wards out. Braum actually reset about 15 seconds before dragon spawns. Is fine. So they want to walk in, right? They want to be able to get this dragon, fight for it. They both teams feel like they have enough items to fight for this. And honestly, I would not fight for the Survivor TSM. You only have one item on the top right. I guess he's going back for his what do we call it right now? Mm, I guess it's doable. I think late game, late game, COD Syncon probably wins, so it's it's fine to go for this team fight as long as it's set up properly. The issue is that Tristana is insanely strong compared to Caitlyn. She has 2 completed items, and Caitlyn only has 1.5. Tristana has 2.5 actually.
Well, CLG had mid lane control first, Dragons on the map, and here comes the team
So
down towards the river. Everyone's
going in.
alive, the recall came through
Okay,
Crash
okay.
has fully
Okay.
bought a hand.
Uh, so Yellowstar gets comboed here.
Heads up, full rush, but now
The
so
chain
Yellowstar
CC
gets out
is
of a lot, they don't get the kill.
pretty nasty from CLG, so that was, it's hard to say if that was like obviously Yellow Star's fault because you want to walk in there, you want to be the first one going in, you're the tank, right? But Gragas wasn't exactly ready. He actually hasn't bought. Yes, he wants to buy. He has his Ice One, I'm pretty sure, compared to the Echo, who has like more items than him. So he probably should have Ice One or something like that really, really soon. But this forces Gragas to TP in early, which
Close
let's
the
see what
shield, thought he was gonna
happens.
run away. He will stay alive, but that was a
Okay,
rocket
Gragas
on
TP's
the
in
TSM
just to
support.
be in
6-8.
the fight. So I don't know the go count
Front
at
and
this
center here with
point,
the Rage Blade. Boogie
but
right behind him.
maybe he doesn't have Iceborne.
Now on towards the backside.
Okay,
Getting hit.
so
He's pretty
Haunter
hard, but the
has a
Echo
pretty
comes out
good
running out of
E.
health. He'll look to ult eventually, but now the push.
6A. Okay, wait, let's go back. Let's go back. This fight is pretty troll. I don't know what's going on. Okay, so first off, you got Yellow Star getting ready back. So TSM as a team should be alright, let's reset. We still have Braum ult. Don't let them get Dragon. We can give it if we have to, but let's try to fight for it. Kind of stall until Braum is back. That's kind of the mentality that you should be
King
having
right
for this
behind
fight.
him.
They should know also that Echo TP'd in, and
Well played now on towards
they should
the
be
backside.
ready
That one getting
to
hit
uh
pretty hard by the Echo. Darshan
be
running at him.
careful. So okay, 6 extra wastes all on Kindred. Doesn't really matter too much.
He'll look to ult eventually, but now
Jumps
the push
in.
onto Hunter. Explosive cast back. Gets away from the headbutt.
So that was a good cast from Haunter. Not really
Hunter
much you can
barely
do
having
as
to
Tristana
rush
there. It's
into his
just
base. Resets
like
waiting
you're
to
not
happen
gonna
there.
flash in
Push to get it
aggressively to
very
try to
low,
get
but
that
nobody
kill
goes
on the
down from
Gragas.
TSM. Because the
It was
cheerleaders
played
playing
pretty
well enough
correctly
after the
from
mid
both
does. All
sides,
right.
and
Just an
obviously
explosive charge.
TSM
Into the
loses this
force
fight
field.
because
Gets away
they're
from
down a
Darshan.
member.
Bonus blow till after the knockback. So you
Braum
fire
was just
charge
not in
onto
the
the
fight
right
at
here.
all.
They'll
He couldn't
get
be.
knocked back out of the ulti,
So
and then
CG
they'll
just
blow
gets
up
the drain.
outside the ring.
That's fine.
We should see that happen at some point. I'm also surprised that TSM even thought about contesting that Dragon because of their stall, and they need the
Yep, they should not have thought about the Custodian
infinity edge on
Dragon
both of their marksmen.
unless they
Whereas
had a really good
CLG, I think,
position.
amidst their
So here
most
TSM decides to
slowest
go
fight in
mid,
this
I
game, and you
think.
almost saw those resets come through. I think TSM is lucky to escape that alive, and CLG was right to bait the
Yep,
fight and go
CLG.
hard.
Well, yeah, CLG's pretty lucky
We'll
there.
see if they go back
Or
to this one, though. A little
TSM's pretty
damage
lucky
taken
there
because
to
of the
escape
Dragon
their
after
life.
that
I agree,
HPE.
Jet.
TSM looking to siege mid lane.
Jet's
That force
actually
blow
pretty good with his
definitely took
commentary,
them almost in
actually.
buildings.
I agree with his
But
stuff
the
most of
wave
the
is
time.
cleared thanks to a Hurricane Tristana. She's real good at that, by the way. It's going to be okay. Headshot hurts Dixie a bit. They're tight back
So
there.
obviously TSM can't push,
Shots
so
both
they're
sides
like,
once
okay,
again
let's
in this
just
game
split up
5.
again. 1-3-1.
Title of North American champion.
Um,
Trip to the midseason
so yeah,
invitational.
TSM goes,
It's
alright,
been a
Cookie's
tense
top,
26 minutes. This is honestly going to crack wide
killing
open in
mid,
that
killing
kind
bot
of
mid.
explosive
So
move.
pretty standard
I think
lane.
that CLG should
Bot lane
try to
goes
create
mid.
an advantageous situation for
Mid
that team
lane
fight to occur
splits,
on
top
their
lane
terms.
splitting
They're
as
the one with the
well.
double teleport this time
Lanes are
around.
matched.
Jerkson has to rely on package to cover a lot of ground across this map. If Corki doesn't have that up, CLG can work around that window, try and create a situation where Darsh. Seems like the wave clear is just so Sir. Oof. Teams in general, Darshan hasn't been able to kill Monster. Oof. Better damage in a 6A, has to kite back on that
Not
one.
much is happening
They
really.
want to keep Huhi next to 6A at
They're
all times, so
COD
it's
is
going to be
trying too hard to siege mid, I believe. I think they should just be walking in. Like once they push this wave all the way in, they should just be looking to rotate. Rotate to bot here. I guess it could be Scarab Baron, but anyways, you probably want your Lulu bottom because she has CP, and then Echo top. That way you can rotate between bot and top and have Lulu TP in if you need to. Danger of that would be getting engaged on or Gravis roams because Lulu's not gonna have too much pressure on him, stuff like
1v4 now.
that. But
Once
that's
again, a
probably
lot
the
of
better
bubbles
play
from
to go
CLG
for.
again on this Tristana, which should be enough to buy whatever
But
item he's looking for, or at least
let's
get
see
very
what
close
CLG
to it.
does. They
It might actually
Tire
have
sees
his
mid.
favor.
Nothing
Goes
really
early, goes
happens because TSM's wave play is way too good.
so
Killing
hard to push
Chester are
through a
way
line of
too
game
good of a
traps as
zone.
well.
So
So
they do ward mid
CLG
and
is
they
trying
don't
to because
walk in.
they haven't sieged early
Bit of a
enough
mistake.
before
I
the
think they
Dominant
should be
Infinity
walking
as
in.
he's
They
gone
should be
up, and
killing
then
all
also
those
also
wards at
has that
Baron,
working very well.
forcing
Very
TSM to
quickly.
be
Want
scared.
to spread the
So
back,
I'm actually kind of
full
surprised to
phase
see
out
that
across and make it
not
easy for
happening,
traps
but
to move
they should
across.
go in now, right?
But you
They're going
also
in
want to
now.
keep your Lulu next to your AD carry.
They're not going in now. They're trying to wait for a
Alright,
top.
they're gonna make the call. They actually separate for now. Once again, back to the 1-3-1.
Resetting as well.
Back to 1-3-1. Teleport up for Huhi.
Okay,
Up for
not a
Darshan.
big fan of
Game ult
this.
slowly wearing
Kind
off
of just
6A's
stalling the
ulti.
game out, letting
He
COG
does
catch
go both.
up.
There's no
So
DPS off, but
So earlier when it was 4-2, like 10 minutes ago, it was a 2K gold lead,
stay full
and
health.
10
All
minutes
his
later
lights and
it's
all this game
still a 2K
has
gold lead.
arrived.
So that's not good.
Bjergsen, again, outer turrets
You
all
want to be able
up
to
here
snowball
for
the game.
TSM to
You had a
kill.
4-0
The fact
advantage,
they're so close to
snowball the
full
shit.
despite being down 2 kills and 3 turrets means they've got a lot of farm and a lot of room to grow in this game. And the
All right,
infinity edge, yeah,
let's keep going. What else is
for all
going on
parties, that
here?
means 6A as well. Okay.
I'm kind of bored with the macro play here. It's just pretty much like TSM's got a free turret when COG's ahead. Like that wouldn't have happened if they got the ward top. So it's just like maybe they're nervous or something. But macro play is not on point this game. The rest of the games are actually pretty good from what I've noticed, generally. But this game was Like a lot of these games actually, they aren't that clean.
The higher the
She could
chance
have been
is that
lucky.
one giant fight could decide
Let's keep going.
for now.
Oof. Well, so nothing
Here
really
we go,
happens.
looking
So
for
like
C.
CLG never really gets
And
deep
half the mid
boards in their
lane team
jungle.
good at this
It's
sort
a
of
pretty
lane.
big mistake.
Pretty big.
I guess they expected themselves to have an outscaling team comp, so they're okay with going to the super late game, which I do agree with. But honestly, really, 4-2, only such a small lead. No bueno.
Split second there. They've been on the offense for so long. Now
So let's keep
not the
going.
safety of their turrets. Here we
30
go.
minutes in the
That
game,
short lane down right there is a
and
wave
the
switch.
game is pretty
Yeah.
sold out.
One thing that CLG can
CLG
do
is
as well,
just
you know,
too
they have
passive,
these pick
and
potentials.
TSM is playing the
Darshan
game
on
smart,
Echo always has a bit of a scary
defending
threat
and
here with the Echo
pushing
in
when
front
you
pocket
could.
where it's a lot easier to land a stun.
No
He
one's
probably
really
won't
getting
be
caught or
the rest of
anything
the
like
team just
that,
waiting around there, but
so
there are a couple
CLG's
tools
not
that
able
CLG
to
can
get
use
a big
when they're
catch
trying to
or a
make
big
people
team
front
fight or
pocket
anything
war
like
if
that.
they
Next train's
get
coming up
really
now,
close
actually.
or
This is
become
gonna
positioned
be,
in.
this should be a big point.
Chain
So
fight over blue.
CLG has two
Oh!
dragons, TSM has one. So CLG should be like, hey, like, we want this dragon. TSM should be like, hey, like, we should defend this dragon.
Monster gets it.
Let's fight it.
100% health damage for the
Team's
W.
pretty even right
CLG.
now. I think the 2K goal lead is pretty much all on, or 1K, whatever it is right now, is probably mainly all on Tristana. And actually, so from my guess right here, from this standpoint, I think Tristana has a probably 1.5K gold lead on Killing, maybe 2K. Corki has a 1.5K, 2K advantage on the Lulu, and Echo should be up about 1K. That's kind of my guess, or 1.5,
But
something like
still just
that.
a night away from your son, but you know what?
Oh,
Still
also,
take it.
also Sven's actually doing pretty well.
I think
He's like,
Red is
he should be up
very good for this.
1K or
Especially,
500 as
he's
well.
maxed out on CDR.
So yeah, but I mean, it's just pretty even across the board. Is
Maybe
what I'm
your
trying to say.
I
You have
think
some
if you don't win,
advantages that
you
is
long
on
as CLG
COG,
goes
but a
towards
lot of it is
this
just on
this is the first
this
big
is
risk that
even.
CLG would be making by
So
it's going even
okay,
fast, and TSM are
so
reacting. They
I
found
think he just
Darshan
give
back
away
in range
this
for a
free
teleport if
Baron.
needed. Here goes the attempted play.
So okay, actually, this tilts me. This whole series has come down to teams sneaking Baron. That is actually ridiculous because both teams do it. It's not like one team is getting outsmarted or like, baited or something like that. They just straight up just give away the fucking Baron. Like both teams in the series. TSM gets free Baron, COG gets free Baron. Pretty much like, hey, like Script says, let's give away this Baron. Okay, let's give away the Baron. Pretty much what happened. So pretty tilted from that. Okay, this fight is actually really big. I'm gonna actually slow it down because a lot of mistakes are made, and the most notable ones are coming up. Nope, let's go.
Time in a row, the knockback onto the team.
Okay, let's actually go to point 5. So the setup, COG actually got the Baron for free. What they actually should be doing here is backing off and being like, hey, let's just reset. We're a little low. Get some items. We just got Baron. Let's just reset and start sieging. Or they should actually 1-3-1. Instead, they end up having to use their TP from Echo and trying to flank. And honestly, it's fine to go for this play. But let's see what happens and why does it turn out as good as COG had hoped. So Darshan goes in really, really hard. He's like, all right, getting my stun down. Stun passes up. It's fine. Not a big deal. This is like a very standard setup. Or actually, let's go back even a little bit further. I want to see the very beginning of this.
Really in the mid lane.
Oh, really fast.
And TSM are react. So now Sven.
Okay, where? Okay, so TP is like, look at this TP, dude. He's literally right behind their whole team, and their whole team is pretty much Gucci. Actually, maybe they're not Gucci because then Braum will flash in, Corki will go super ham. So this might be you have to come in here, um, or worst case scenario, you would probably have to sacrifice Xmithy. So it's fine if I do look for it, honestly. I would look for this fight. Uh, Unsure why he watches on ult there. I mean, it's not like he was in trouble or anything. If he had ulted here and COG canceled TB and backed the hell off, that would have been a perfect play. I would have been like, damn, well played, well coordinated, good call, good job, guys. Instead, you got Sven ulting and Darshan still TPing in, going on the trap and losing half his HP immediately. Oof. So Afro has to go and has no ult at this point, and this is like a really scrappy fight. Yellow Stars dies really early into the fight, but Darshan has his ult, so he covers about a bunch of his HP. Hanser actually does a really good ult in 6A, I believe. Here we go. Let's see this. There's a lot of stuff is happening in this fight, honestly. It's like really, really messy. Um, really good cast from Hanser here. You see Tristan's knocked in. Chauncey gets an auto E. Oof, 6 is in trouble. He's like, okay, what? Okay. Anyone see this? You see what Seig's doing here? He's jumping in. And what is he jumping in onto? He's jumping in onto the full HP mid lane Corki. It's actually pretty fucking fed. So basically, instead of WWing or flashing back towards his team back here, which is, the good play to go for. He goes in ham. He's like, he probably didn't know his in there, to be fair, but you can't make this mistake. This is a game losing mistake, honestly. Because why? He ults back here. He's gonna get Lulu shielded. He's gonna get Peel, and he's gonna kill Hanser really quickly. He's gonna get reset. Sven has no ult. He's gonna die in 2 shots. Kalen's gonna die in 3 shots. Brixton is not really in the fight yet, and instead, he goes in. He jumps in. 6A here. He jumps in, is forced to flash out, does no damage from this point forward, gets ulted by Caitlyn, which forces Elise to be like, oh shit, I gotta flash in and save his ass. And instead of it being maybe a scrappy, like maybe Chasan dies like 4 for 2, I think would be worst case scenario for CLG if 6A played out correctly. It turns into a, what is it? 2 for 1? 3 for 1? And they had Baron, they lost 3 Barons. TSM, that was a bad play. Horrible team fight played by CLG. And, oof, 6A could have carried that fight 100%. If it had gone to, if 6A played it perfectly, absolutely perfectly, and he killed all of them, that would have been an MVP play, in my opinion. And instead, he actually loses his team this fight, and instead of being able to get 2 turrets and an inhib off that winning fight, he gets, they lose that fight and probably lose 2 turrets mid as TSM pushes mid. So that is, in my opinion, not good. Maybe you think that you guys might think that's fine or something, because he goes for a really good play later on. But in my opinion, consistency is very important because it doesn't matter how good you play towards the end. Because if you can't win these fights, the close fights, the even fights, or even the fights where you're ahead, you're not going to be able to close that games against good teams who might have even better team fight than TSM. Great. So instead of TSM losing the game off that Baron and that fight, they're actually even. They're actually even ahead at this point. That's actually really bad. And they lose Dragon. So pretty much worst case scenario for COG. Let's keep going. Replay, whatever. Like I said, I was pretty tilted from that fight. I was like, CLG should have won the right there. And yeah. So CLG has a Baron. They do pressure with it. Smart. They didn't tilt off the face of the earth and decided to keep pressuring since they are stronger. They should assume that they're ahead, and they do have Baron. So very good for them to not choke and not like be like, oh shit, we lost that fight. Let's not fight anymore. Instead they're like, hey, like we still have Baron. Pressure. Let's do it. Um, instead of just giving TSM the game. So very good from CLG to kind of bounce back in the situation, and they even get a turn and a half. I think TSM Dragon might have been an overextension. They could have prevented losing the 2 turrets had that not happened. But it's fine. I mean, Dragon for 2 turrets, like it's not an ideal trade, but I mean. It's fine. It also stalls them for getting 5 dragons as well, so it's not a huge deal. Gold count is pretty much back to where it was before. Only 2k advantage, and at this point in the game, 2k is pretty much nothing. You get 1 BF sword, and pretty much everyone's gonna have either the same items or only an extra BF sword above them. So not a big deal at all.
Be there for the damage uptime if CLG wants to take the championship. And it's one of the stats that people always bring up with Double Lift is that DPS. He's topping no matter where enemy down. Mid-tier 2 is already 1-1, but Guardian Angel Echo will not die quickly. Teleport, and he's going to use it right now. How much damage now can CLG get? He's saving explosive charge, but he's got to watch out. If Monster flashed for that one, he would have gotten him. Man, Caitlyn traps are just so good. Offensive and defensive sieging. Able to stall them out there, even though they had an extra.
So TSM Sing Home obviously really hard to siege against. They can't 5v5 take a turret. They have to kind of split push. This push isn't strong enough really to really like pressure because of them mapping ahead. So they honestly just wait for Dragon Baron, pop for those, and that's kind of how this game turns out. So it's going, wait until Dragon Baron are up. Let's see what happens. I think game actually ends really soon here. Okay, so TSM's fine. They won that last team fight. Fight well, win this next team fight, pretty much win the game. You either get the Baron and you're a snowball, or you get the kills and you end the game or something like that. Because they have three marksmen. As long as two of them lives, they can probably end the game.
The Juggertrist, because they have no QSS, they have no. Oh, he does have
Let's
QSS.
keep
Never mind. Yeah,
going.
he can do that.
So TSM is a little bit scared. Their team comp is actually kind of wonky at this point, where they need Gragas in the fight, but he's only low TP, so he can't TP. He can't beat the team early. He can't. He doesn't have pressure on the Echo,
He should be doing it
so
more, I think,
it
actually.
kind of
As
sucks
far
for
as keeping
him.
Gragas from getting poked, because
So
if Gragas
they
goes
kind
in,
of
you
can't
could
get
still get
wards
all three
out. They
Furigos
give
in
away Dragon for
flat there.
free.
Gragas,
That's
if they
okay.
if they if
Honestly,
they
I think sacking this dragon is probably the right move because you don't want to force your team to go bot side and invest too much, knowing that they have double TPs and they take ban really fast and they just stuck it against you right before that.
extremely aggressively when Gragas is trying to deal with Darshan. Oh
So
my god,
TSM's
they're
going
going
for
for
this
the Baron.
Baron.
They're going
This is fine.
for the Baron.
So
Keep going.
okay, what's not fine is Braum should be tanking here. Sven takes way too much damage. He's actually at half HP at this point. And if Braum is the one at 80% HP, it's way better than Hansa being at or Sven being at 60%, 60%. And Gragas will obviously TP there as a fight, or if Ben gets low.
So TSM can't get much more done.
So the setup. All right, this is where the game gets hyped, right? So TSM is going to this fight with disadvantage, but they are forcing the fight, and Afro is actually at half HP with his ult popped at this point. Um, right here, you want to kite out the Alistar. Alistar wants to go in because he has his ult on. He's pretty much invincible for those few seconds, and TSM knows that, and knowing that, they should try to bait out that ult, which he did, and now back off. And let's see what happens. So obviously Han's team is in. It's gonna be a fight. So get the fuck out. Nice. This is a really good Valk from Bjergsen. He knows that Afro will go for that play because everyone will. You have ult on. You want to try to catch him. If you can flash pull the Corki, knock him in, you win this fight. So very smart play from both Afro and Bjergsen. He only gets Sven. That's okay. He's trying to actually get 3 people. That would have been a really good play. Sven gets popped into here, which kind of is like I don't know. This is getting really, really messy. That's okay. I'll just keep going really slowly. Sim pops out very normal. Standard play so far from this game. Hanser, his goal is to disrupt their backline. Doing a good job of that. Uh, Afro is, he had to pop his ult early. Like he's gonna die right here. There's nothing he can do. Joshua's actually super late to this fight. And that's actually a really good time for TSM to engage. This whole sequence is really good from TSM. They knew Joshua apparently didn't have TP, and it was kind of far. And Hanzo TP'd in first, and they are baiting this fight out really, really well. So it's a 45 at this point. So, oof, let's keep going, keep going. 6A getting some good damage on. That was actually really good Mercurial from 6A. You kind of have to there. You get exhausted. You want to be able to do damage. 2.5 seconds is a really long time for you to pretty much do 0 damage. So he's killed Zelstar 4-4 here. Very close. Ults. Only Caitlyn has ult, and Tristana has ult, and Echo has ult. Pretty close in strength right now. And okay, such a close fight. Both sides, you pretty much don't know where to look at. So obviously my eyes are gonna be on the 80 carry because that's my job as a support. And here, does a really good job. Gets the peel that he needs, and he dies. Like Bracing makes the play. Such a close fight. Really hard to say like whose fault it is. It's just pretty much Darshan was late to the fight, and then TSM had a really good sequence of plays where they managed to get the Tristana. Um, honestly, there's really no complaints on either side. Both sides played it as well as they could have. Only thing is that 60 probably shouldn't have gone in here. You should just uh let the fight go on. They're not gonna lose this fight because Lulu's gonna be able to do a lot in this fight, whereas 6A isn't able to do much here. So I mean you can kind of blame 60 for that, but honestly this is fine. I would not. I think that's very standard 80 carry play. Um, and most people would have done that. And so TSM resets. They should look for Baron soon. Yeah. I'm gonna make sure it's not 1.5 or 1.5 anyway. Keep going. Okay, so yeah, TSM does get the free Baron because the death timers are way too long. So that team fight was a misplay on CLG and a good win for TSM. Made the plays, and honestly, I think Bjergsen was probably the series MVP if TSM had won, but unfortunately, no dice.
Looking at that last fight though. I wanted to finish.
Alright, let's keep going.
Obviously have those
So
people to
TSM,
be the ones stuck.
like, hey,
They
we
want
have
to have those
Baron,
Guardian Angels
let's
on the
try
front line,
Siege.
soaking up
Good idea.
soaking up
We want to do that. You have
abilities
no
at this
TP on
point in the
Gragas,
line
so
so
you
that
have
the
to
six
back
can
off
get
this
autos out.
one.
They
Make
want
sure you
to
don't get
trade
caught.
front lines because
Let
they have
Gragas
the
push
Guardian
up that
Angels,
wave,
but they want
and
to
then
invade
rotate
the
over
field
over
at the same
to
time.
him.
TSM did such a good job forcing at the Baron,
So, yep.
setting up the traps,
Get
making
some
some
words
counter auto
out.
gaming fight on
Good,
there.
good,
It is
good.
2,000 for Haunter.
TSM tries to look for
Baron
a
power play,
pick.
most of them have.
Not gonna really happen. It's all
Those
good.
fun COG could spell defensive play. TSM
Push
finally on the
mid.
offense, the
Okay,
aggressive. You want to
okay.
watch out for the double TP. That's out for COG. Although I don't expect the Lulu to teleport in behind because he needs to be there to protect Stick Save. And how much poke Pierce can get. Rapid fire cannon done on the Corki means he can get those long range Trinity Force hits. And he can do like 900 damage to
So
the with
Chan
that in the
is
right
actually really
circumstances.
strong
Fine
here.
with
She
melting the
has
front line. Yeah,
5
he's built for it.
items. Pretty much full
CLG
build.
are fine with defending.
So,
Push in towards Hanser, decent damage onto him.
a little
Jump
chunky
right
in
back in.
there.
Able
They okay. Let me
push
see
it.
what happened there.
Built
So
for it.
Hanser
CLG are fine with
is
defending.
trying to
Line.
pick,
Yeah, he's
but
built for it.
what was he
CLG
trying
are
to pick?
fine with defending.
Oh, he
Uh-oh,
gets.
the push in towards Hanser, decent damage onto him.
It's fine, not a big deal.
Jump
Hanser
right back
is
out and be okay with this one.
same. So they rotate
Say,
bottom,
on
go
the
ahead
launch,
to
look.
should get the server free. Probably not gonna need to
Push.
watch that. I
And
don't remember
CLG
what happened.
people very much damage. It's pretty dangerous, maybe by a grab here.
Yeah, it's pretty short. No, that's fine.
Score.
You know, TSM isn't ahead here,
Oh my God,
so
one of
for
those team
them
fights
to only
where the
get one
attackers are
turret
so
is honestly really, really good. But
all the
Baron
damage 'cause
and
he is
turret
the only real
and
damage that
pressure
CLG down the
is
line.
just good enough at this point.
Believe last
They
item
kind of have to
here,
wait for the
probably
next
going
Baron,
for an
next
Essence
Dragon,
Trigger, so
to really get a good
maybe
fight.
it's
They
but
have
he's
to
so
win
good
another
at
fight
hand
to win this game,
Pearson.
and same for CLG. They can't really pressure at
No,
this
was
point.
completed on
They
Darcy.
just need to wait for the next objective.
Maybe he's Guardian Angel, but
So,
maybe
Dragon's
he's
up in
not
20
that.
seconds. CLG decides not to fight this. I think that's a
Then the
correct
Frozen Heart is
play
really big deal, but yeah, random wins are big.
because they have
Really, this
complete
dragon doesn't
wards
have
out
anything
here,
to
but looks like they goof. Wait,
positioning for the team
push
fight.
Dragon.
TSM got
Oh,
his number
oh, they actually don't. Okay. They looked like they were, but they ended up not.
3. The traps are already
Honestly,
up.
that's
They're already
the
there
fine
too
play to
soon.
go for. Hanser actually engages here, so it's not a get engaged.
For the team fight. TSM got us number 3. The traps are already up. They're already there.
Is this a good team fight?
Two
Let's
super
watch it. I'm gonna say no because 5 people are hitting Hanser, 0 people are actually dealing damage to CLG. So Hanser won a little bit too aggro. I know ETP kind of really wants to get that engage on, but CLG actually backed up. It kind of like baited that fight. In reality, they just couldn't get in for the fight. They should have just gotten wards elsewhere, but it's okay.
And here comes
Um,
Hanser. Looks for the play.
Hanser
Gets
gets
headbutted.
chunked
Gets
a little
pulled
bit. Ooh, that was a good cast from Hanser. Good reaction from 6A.
around. They knock it 6, but
That's
he's gonna
fine. Even if he did get knocked in, he could just QSS and flash out. So there's honestly no way for 660 to die there. He would just have to burn some stuff. Um, but yeah, Hanser's going a little too hard here. Sven should not have ulted there either. And this fight is super close. I should not have put that on 0.5, my bad. Good GA pop. 6A going hard. Hanser tries to go in. Okay, so this was a game-winning fight. All right, let's go. Let's go over this. Why is this a game-winning fight? So let's go back here. Let's go to TP. Let's go to the Dragon being down first. Okay, Dragon is down. So TSM had already won this fight. They had gotten no kills, neither CLG, no damage on either team, but they got the free Dragon. That's good. Good job. Well done. Now wait for Baron. That should be the mentality. Instead, Hanzo's TPing in. He's like, all right, I'm gonna TP in, flank behind them, get that engage down. But you have to realize that TSM has a 380 carry comp. 80 carries are not known for their great follow-up. They're not going to be the ones flashing and getting the AoE CC. That's not their job. Their job is to peel back, kill the front line, and work slowly at that. So Hanzo here, he tries to make the big play. They don't even have wards on first. Like, not the play to go for. So Hanzo probably should have popped his ult earlier. Ooh. So at this point, it's really close. Like nobody really has an advantage, but Hanzo's actually really chunked, and that's not good because he's our only big frontline. Braum isn't a big frontline; he's this tiny frontline. 'Cause he's not as tanky, and so actually both these tanks play this fight pretty poorly. They just take way too much damage. Darshan even has to get his GA popped at this point. That could have been a really good CC chain if at least I got on the stun, but they didn't. Darshan actually dies here by his GA. So honestly here they should just be backing off. Instead their mentality is to let's go hard, try to win this fight. And obviously 6A he still has his Mercurial, has his flash and heal, so he just kinda does the resets. I mean, he honestly had no chance of dying there, and TSM just overextended. Is this a good play from 6A? excellent play. He played it perfectly. He baited out the Gragas E flash, and he saved his E, or saved his Mercurial after the E. So like overall, he played this fight really well. But it wasn't like spectacular. It wasn't like he 1v5 carried the fight. It wasn't some mechanical prowess play. It was just a pretty good play and pretty standard Tristana play, honestly. I would expect most 8 carries in LCS to do that play. So, okay, that's the game, right? So, good job 6A. He played pretty solid overall, but to say he was a series MVP, I was pretty tilted from that. I did not expect that, and I didn't see that from his play. I would have expected. Um, so this is how I saw the play, in comparison to the other person in the role. I think Bjergsen played way better than Huhi, which is kind of expected. I think Xpecial played way better than Sven, which was not expected. I think Xpecial has improved a ton, and so has Sven. He played really well in the Mortal series. I expected him to do well in the series as well, but that didn't happen. I think um, Afro and Yosar are pretty close. I would give the edge to Afro for sure. Afro had the way better laning. Yosar had equal team fighting. That's kind of where it ended up at. 6A, both underperformed. I think 6A has seen better games, so has Doublelift, but neither really like outperformed the other person to a really big level. I think part of it is just that double of Afro was a lot stronger combo than the double of Yellowstar and the Afro Mix 60 combo that we're seeing in these games. I think Darshan and Hunter very even. Obviously Hunter did the last game by trying to engage a team fight, but it wasn't like he played bad this series. He played fairly decently well. It's just that Darshan had more resources and Darshan was playing with the team a bit better. So at the same time, Hunter did get a lot of focus bans. He got I think Maokai and Poppy ban both games, or all 5 games maybe. I'm not sure, but I think Hunter overall is a better player than Darshan, but apparently without those two tanks, he isn't able to put as much pressure. And the reason I say that is because Hunter has been showing up on Maokai and Poppy to a level that is beyond Darshan, but I think both are very solid players. So that's kind of my analysis of this game. And a little bit about the series in general. I do think that 6A improved a lot. I really like his play, but to say he's MVP, I don't believe so, and I get pretty frustrated when I see players that do well, but not to the level that people are hyping them up to, because that only sets them up for blame and like, how did he drop so low? I mean, it's just gonna be really bad rebound in the future. So I kind of wanted to get that out of the way. And plus, people were hating on me as usual for what I said because I was trying to be a little honest. But now that I have evidence to support my honesty, I think it's a lot more of a solid position to stand on. All right, that's it. Thanks guys for watching.